got to tell you about. When we talk about corporations and the people that are in corporations, there is, oh, let me leave capitalism up here because we need to see this. Now, there is, in criminological theory, a gene called the MAOA gene. It's called the warrior gene. Why is that important? Because that is the gene that's possessed by serial killers. Really? Watch this now. Watch this. Many psychiatrists are indicating that that same gene is possessed by people that are on Wall Street and work in corporations. Having that gene makes you very cold, makes you calculating, makes you very callous. And you really don't care who you hurt when you make decisions. Why am I saying that? Because when you outsource jobs, you destroy families. Let me be clear about that. You outsourcing jobs and you're destroying families. Let me be clear about this. Say, for instance, you're working for a corporation. Now, that corporation has used its goods and productions of producing goods and services, using their workers. And for, say, 5 to 10 years, they have been adhering to the standards of unions that's making you pay a livable wage, that's making you get paid time off, that's making you have to pay medical and dental benefits, and everything's fine. But what they're starting to say to themselves is, we can make more money. If we didn't have to pay this medical insurance, this dental insurance, if we didn't have, Obamacare, more commonly referred to as, if we didn't have to pay all these taxes, right, and give back, oh, what a concept, giving back to a society that has blessed you to the point where you're making money hand over fist. No, that's not enough for me. I'm greedy. I want more money. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're having a meeting at our firm. And now we're telling our firm, we're about to move our corporation over to India. Now you have 1,500 families that are going to be without a job. Oh, they're very decent people. But remember, the MAOA gene, they could care less if you take the job or not. Oh, they'll extend the offer to you. But we're not going to give you moving expenses. Oh, you feel free to take a job over in India if you can find one. That'll be fine with us. Because we want to be there for you, knowing all along that you are not going to move your life on the other side of the world. So now all of a sudden, 1,500 workers are laid off because you decided that you wanted more. And that affecting them and the fact that they can't pay for their families and they may starve has never come into play in your mind because you don't care, because you're cold, you're callous, and you're calculating, because you have the MAOA gene, the same gene that serial killers possess. It is astounding that you have people doing that every day. They're doing it right on Wall Street, right before your eyes. They're watching people starve while they're giving out $20 million bonuses. If that's not cold, calculating, and callous, nothing is. There's nothing worse than a businessman that's unethical, that does not care about his workers. That is the foundation of everything that America is supposed to be against. America was supposed to be a country that people can come to build a good or better way of life for them and their families. Now all of a sudden, we want to close the borders now, and we want to say, we don't want anybody else over here now. But what we didn't realize is that America was built on the premise of immigration, because immigrants moved from over in Great Britain and decided we're going to start our own country because we're being oppressed by King George. Only to come over here and set up a country now and become King George, because now you're oppressing people. So what do these people, what are we supposed to do now in America? Should we just branch off and start our own country now? Because America, you have become King George now. You are oppressing people. You are laying people off. You're telling immigrants to go back home. The only unfortunate part about that is, if everybody went where they were supposed to go, America would be empty. Because nobody over here is an original citizen but the Indians. Let me just be clear about that. But because we have the MAOA gene and we are cold, callous, and uncaring, we don't care. That's what's wrong with America right now. We don't care for anybody else. It's all about you. When you're sitting up there and watching that Congress operate against the president, they're not going to pass legislation to help anybody. And what I'm finding so unconscionable is the fact that we continue to put them in those seats of power. And they continue to do the same thing over and over again. We are their employers. The American people employ the Senate and the Congress. We employ them. So if they're not doing their job, they need to be fired. Because I can guarantee you that if anybody in here that has a job start telling the boss, I'm going to do things the way I want to do them, and I don't care if you don't like it, you're going to be finding you another job. How is it that you can have a sequester right now in our country where people are getting laid off at record numbers, but the Congress and the Senate is to maintain this six-figure salary? Oh, they're not part of the sequester. Why not? See, they tell you, oh, we need to all have to tighten our belts. Well, doesn't that mean that you need to tighten yours too? When are you going to take a pay cut? How about that? Why don't you take a $100,000 pay cut and you keep $84,000? How about that? Oh, no, I can't do that. That's going to interfere with my lifestyle. Really? What about everybody else in America's lifestyle? You don't care about that, do you? But you want to stand in front of the cameras and say, you're laying me off and you're doing it for my betterment and for the betterment of America. And everybody that's on TV that's talking about it, like all these commentators, they're making their salaries too. And their pay is not getting cut. The only people's pay that's getting cut, and the only ones that are suffering, are the ones you're talking to saying, we need to tighten our belts. Y'all shouldn't be so greedy. You shouldn't be so selfish. Really? I think you're talking to the wrong person. Can I pull a full-length mirror out and let you look in there and talk to it? Because you need to be talking to yourself. Because you're the one that is selfish. Plain and simple. And that is the essence of white-collar crime. Because people continue to say this one thing. There are two things about white-collar crime we need to understand. It is a crime that is committed by people of high socioeconomic status. That's the first thing. The second thing about white-collar crime is it is performed during the course of your duties at work. So therefore, white-collar crime can't be committed by you, Miss Davis. No, can't be committed by you. You don't make enough money. So what we'll do, if you have theft, you'll go to jail. And it may be for $10,000. But on the other hand, this man in the bank can steal $20 million and get a slap on the wrist. That's the essence of white-collar crime. Why? Because they control the media, the politicians, the media outlets, the banks, the voting, the lawyers, the prosecutors, the judges. Right. That's who they control. They're in their pocket. And therefore, if you ever come up with the notion that I did break a law, I'm going to call a special session of Congress and I'm going to pass another law to make sure that that law was not against the law. I hope you follow me, because this is what they do all day long, special sessions. Do we know what goes on in special sessions under the gold dome? Of course we don't. We only find out at the end when they put it on the website. They're not very open and honest to us about the laws that they're passing, but the laws affect us on a daily basis, right? You want to talk about white-collar crime? And I'm gonna wrap it up at this, because you got to do your presentations. Look at the cheating scandal here in APS schools. Now, I don't have a problem with the premise of what you're trying to say, that people they need to be punished if they're cheating. But let's consider this for a minute. Consider, for example, what if, let's do a what if for a minute. What if you have snuck in and fooled and deceived the Georgians and have them change the Constitution to bring in charter schools? What if? What if you bring in charter schools, and what if you decide, how are we going to pay for charter schools? How are we going to pay for them? I don't know if we can find the money. I know what we can do. We can look at the most profitable school systems, public school systems that are in the state of Georgia, and we can start raising the scandal that they're cheating. Now, they're cheating. And now we're going to put it in the media, which we control. And we're going to heavily saturate the neighborhoods that it affects, which means because we're arresting people from lower socioeconomic. We run it on the news constantly. Now, because we were raised to be very ethical, now we're upset with those people because we've already condemned them. Why is that significant? Because a lot of the people that are condemning them will sit on the juries. What do you think they will come to the conclusion of? That they cheated, and they'll put them in jail. Now, you can come back to the American people and say, you know what? You know, my fellow Georgians, it seems that they're not appreciative of the money that they're receiving in these school systems. And we're going to have to do something about it. We believe that we have a more excellent way to educate your children through charter schools. So what we're going to do, we're going to transfer all the money, the multi-million-dollar budget in APS, and we're going to transfer it over here to charter schools now. Because that's the more excellent way. And we have oversight over them. And we can ensure that they're not going to be cheating like the rest of these people over here. You don't believe me? Just wait and see everything unfold before your eyes. This is a what if, though. Just what if. What if? What if I know that? Yes, sir.
But the thing about charter schools, all their teachers are not certified as teachers.
That's right. They don't have to be. So tell me, why is the oversight not certifying you to teach my son or my daughter? Why do you not have to be certified to teach my children? If you're not certified, how do I know you can teach? Maybe you just got out of the barber shop and now you decide you want to teach now. So you pick up a school book and now you're in the classroom now because there is no foundational truth as to who you're going to hire to be a charter school teacher. So now, is charter school better than public schools? I don't know. One thing I do know, you need to have higher regulation. Don't tell me one thing is not working and then turn around and offer me a less or inferior choice. Because I don't want to take it. But because you're saturating the media with it and some of our legislature who sell out are saying, oh, I think this is a grand idea. I bet you ought to check their bank accounts and see how much money they got put in their account just to make that endorsement. These are things we need to be aware of. Don't be fooled. Do your own research and get your own understanding before you listen to what the media tells you. Because remember what I told you. When you're dealing with the media, expect to be lied to, but be pleasantly surprised when they tell you the truth. It's enough.